pushed to do so, having realized that the government seems to only understand strike. They don't understand negotiation. They believe in you being at daggers drawn with them. So what has been happening is simply a case of the government making attempts all through the earlier days of the strike, making attempts to maybe bully us into resuming, intimidating, and the like. And we resisted that to the last extent. So, and it got to a point where they came up with what seemed to be the last and what they believe to be the most effective joker in their hand, and that is what they call no work, no pay. They used the no work, no pay threat. Okay. And when so was that
what made you call off the strike?
No, we didn't budge.
Okay.
No, there's a saying in the Yoruba parlance. They say a tree that when you are trying to lean on it, it's trying to fall. It's not really supporting you. When you hear the threat of that same tree attempting to fall down, you don't panic, because if it falls on you, it can as well not harm you, since it cannot sustain you. Most of us don't live on that salary because it cannot sustain us, considering the economic reality.
So what was it that made you, eventually suspend the strike?
It's because when they discovered and they used the most important joker in their hand, we also escalated to the labor house, and that is the NSC and the TUC. And the NSC, TUC threatened the nationwide strike in solidarity with us. And that was when they discovered that this joker isn't working really. And they discovered the nationwide strike is not something that would be good for their image.
So it started with you in the UCH before you now escalated to a nationwide industrial action?
No. It's originally a nationwide strike. Okay. We just had to comply in UCH. We didn't have any local issue in UCH. So it's a nationwide strike that we just have to comply with. And so it's the involvement of TUC and NSC that made the government to become serious. All this while we've been negotiating with the Minister for Health representing the government, and this has not been working for a lot of reasons. And by the time the government wanted to be more serious, they came in with a neutral arbiter, the Ministry of Labour as a reconciliator, and that was when we were able to have HOA, and we were able to resume duty, because at last we signed the terms of settlement that are manageably okay with us. It's one thing in negotiation in labor, you don't stand rigid at a point, and the people you are negotiating with also don't stand rigid. If it is so, we wouldn't have called it a negotiation. You have to compromise some things,
right?
And we met at the middle, and because of our dear patients that we love so dearly, we resumed duty.
So did you feel like all the demands you had have been duly met by the government? Because you said you also had to make some concessions. So can you walk us through some of the few concessions your union had to make, and whether or not some of these demands that you had on the table before the strike has actually been agreed to by the government?
Well, originally it was just a singular demand, and it is that 𝐶𝐈𝐒, which is our salary structure,
to be
adjusted. That was the others came up as a result of events that unfolded during the strike, like the no work, no pay. It has to be included, that the circular had to be withdrawn. But the original demand was just a single demand of the upgrading of the 𝐶𝐈𝐒. And we also said that because it was due since 2014, so we said it has to be done, implemented, arrears paid before we resume.
So were you asking for probably pay parity with the resident doctors? Was that what you were asking for?
I always encounter that question. It's funny. It's funny. I know it's NMA claim. It's been made open.
That's what I'm asking, so you can set the record straight.
Yes, we aren't But if we are, that's not a sin. And it's not bad, it's not odd, it's normal. So we're not asking for pay parity. They say, let me quote them, say they want to collect same salary with us. One, that's not it.
But do you want to collect same salary with the doctors?
We want to collect more than them.
More than them?
Yes.
Why is that?
It is because salaries are expected to be paid based on your inputs.
So you have more inputs than them?
No. YUSUF is made up of a lot of professionals. Right. We have junior staff, we have senior staff, we have intermediate, we have PhD holders among us, we have those who have been on duty, we've been working for years, who have input a lot, who have developed themselves so much more than some enemy members. So some of our members are entitled to more than them. Some are entitled to less than them.
That's based on what? Based on
the
inputs.
Yes. Okay. That is why if you go outside the country to work, they don't pay you based on are you a doctor
or a health worker.
Are you a physician or you are a health worker, you are a pharmacist, you are a
lab.
No. They pay you based on your input. That is why you see a data analyst getting paid more than a physician. You see what do you call it? Internet security, cyber security expert getting paid more than double what a physician is being paid.
So you feel like you have more inputs than the doctors in the hospital?
A good number of us have more inputs. That is why in year 2008, because we've been on this for long, in year 2008, the government deemed it fit that let's perform job evaluation. That is what can give us an hint of who does what and who deserves what. And the job evaluation was performed and the result came out. And the result revealed that some health professionals actually put in more than some physicians. You know, the physicians, those you call doctors.
Yes. Because
that word doctor is a very broad name.
Right.
It does not just include those you call doctors.
Right.
So the physicians, they have specialties. You know, we have some who just watch over files, who just undo files. We have some who will just listen to your complaints if you are prescribed drugs. We have those who will perform surgery for hours. So you can't, but in Nigeria, it's just that I'm an MBBS holder, so we'll pay you one size fits all kind of salary. That is not supposed to be. So it's your input. Some of my members, because my members include the physiotherapists, pharmacists, medical lab scientists, and a lot of health care professionals that have put in a lot, talk of developing themselves, talk of contributing to the care of the patient. So some of us deserve to be paid better than those physicians you call doctors.
Oh, okay. So now, with what has been agreed with the government, no work, no pay policy has been withdrawn, like you said. There's also commitment to include the CONHES adjustment in the 2026 budget. Can you tell us what this means for the health worker under your union, the fact that the CONHES adjustment will be implemented alongside the 2026 budget? And also, were there any points that you felt during the agreement that you felt some of these things were not fully captured in what was signed with the government, some of the demands you had?
No, like I told you, it's only one demand.
Okay.
And it's been well captured.
All right.
It's only that you can't trust the government 100%.
So was there a timeline for implementation?
There is. It's April. So, or not before April. That's the time.
So what does this mean that, for the health worker now, the person is going to have an increased, income, increased pay?
Well, that is what it means, but it is just for the government to fulfill its promise made in 2009 that, okay, now everyone that works in the hospital, in the federal government hospital, we have split your salary structure into two, because pre-2009 it used to be only one salary structure. Now we split it into two. We have CONHES, we have CONHES.
So CONHES is for the physicians,
yes,
and CONHES is for you, the health workers.
Yes. So, but don't worry. when we do anything to 𝐷𝐿, because they are like a set of twins, when you do this for Taiwo, we'll do same for Kehinde.
Okay.
That is not to say if they do a kind of upward review, it has to do with percentage. That's why so whoever is sane will not be talking about any parity. If you earn 200,000, I earn 150,000. If it's a kind of 50% increment,
so it will be across board.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's more of equity and not equality. But mind it, some of my members deserve to be better paid than even these physicians. So
you mentioned in the course of your negotiation with the federal government. So does that mean that your union only deals with the federal government, in terms of welfare of health workers, or do the YUSUF union at the state level, in terms of those who work at the state hospitals, do they deal directly with the state government, or everybody just deals with the federal government directly, and whatever is agreed with the federal government is now cascaded to the state level?
The way you put it the last time is how it is. It's cascades to the state level, but not to say it is cast in iron. But it serves as a model, a guide
for the state government.
For the states now, still depending on their
Please hold our thoughts, sir. Hold our thoughts, sir. We need to take this commercial break. It's a Podium 32 FM 94.9. We'll be back in a moment. To stay with us.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Every meal I cook must taste just right. Rich, delicious, full of love.
We hear you. Your Maggie Star in double cubes. Double the flavor, double the convenience. The same trusted taste you love. Maggie Star Double Cubes, made from fermented soya and other selected ingredients for that deep flavor and quality that only Maggie brings to your dishes.
Absolutely delicious.
Get Maggie Double Cubes today. Me and Maggie, so good together.
Is it okay to make fun of our tooth gap? Let's have a talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Stop cover your mouth. Not to do yanga with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. Zero cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do yanga with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate.
Colgate, #1 oral care brand in the world.
Bàbá Aláríyá yín tún dé o.
Ó pọ̀ LAFCOT pẹ̀lú bàbá Aláríyá ìlú Ìbàdàn ó gbàlejò bàbá Aláríyá mọ́gàjí oníkọ́mẹ́dì tó mẹ́nu ẹ̀ tó ń gbé wa débẹ̀ gangan nínú kọ́mẹ́dì tó ga yàtà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀rín àníṣẹ́ tó ń di bí àkèré ó dé ogun bàálù kọ́mẹ́dì wòlú Ìbàdàn pẹ̀lú òbítíbitì àwọn adẹ́rìnpòṣónú àtàwọn amúlùdùn ìsìmìdàkólò àpòròrò Gbẹ̀ngà Adéyínká Bash bàbá Kàmọ́ Lísíjì Ozane àti ọ̀gbọ̀ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn àkàkàtà adẹ́rìnpòṣónú àti àwọn òṣèré onítíátà ẹ wá ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì kí ẹ lè fi àwọn ẹ̀bùrà bàǹdẹ̀ ṣèfàjẹ́ Sunday 15th February 2026 òní comedy show tó bùyẹ̀ kẹ̀kẹ́ yóò wáyé ní Dogo Center Liberty Road Ìbàdàn aago 3 ìrọ̀lẹ́ ní gbogbo fàájì ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ regular 3k VIP 20k silver 500k gold 1 million platinum 2 million ticket wà ní gbogbo ilé ìtajà Ace Supermarket FIFA Cinemas Amala Sky Female Cinemas tàbí kẹ̀kẹ́ sórí ìtàkùn ayélujára www.babalariya.com LAFCOT pẹ̀lú bàbá Aláríyá Koro Money T-Pompi Estates Jofet Foods àti Nigerian Revenue Service ló ṣagbátẹrù ẹ̀ media partner ní 32 FM jẹ́ àpàdé ń bẹ̀.
This Ramadan, emotions ignite. Can rival sisters overcome pride? Will a defiant daughter find forgiveness? Can a bride's faith save her husband? A businessman rediscovers family. An influencer chooses between friends and fame. A single mom discovers even strength needs support.
6 stories, 30 days. Faith, family, friendship, food, forgiveness. Tales of Ramadan Season 2. Catch every dramatic moment on TV and digital. This Ramadan, Maggie turns up the heat.
Me and Maggie, so good together.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Yes.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids Milo 3-in-1, milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo.
مرحبا بك يا شهر المبارك الحمد لله رب العالمين akí gbogbo mùsùlùmí mùsùlùmá káàbọ̀ sínú oṣù àlùbáríkà 32 FM Ramadan quiz pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ Edward Homes and Property Management 32 FM Ramadan quiz yóò máa gbéra sọ láti ọjọ́ ajé Monday títí di ọjọ́ ẹtì Friday ní déédéé agogo 4 kọjá ìṣẹ́jú 15 4:15 PM títí di agogo 5 gẹ́gẹ́ ọmọ ọdún 8 sí 15 8 to 15 years ni yóò láǹfààní láti kópa lórí rédíò 32 FM 94.9 yóò mọ̀lì júmọ́ ó ní ọjọ́ àṣekágbọ́ ọ̀sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ bí ìṣe wà Monday àkọ́kọ́ nínú oṣù Ramadan àti ọdún yìí ní ìdíje 32 FM Ramadan quiz ó gbéra sọ onírúurú ẹ̀bùn ló ti wà nílẹ̀ fún àwọn olùdíje pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ iléeṣẹ́ tí ń talẹ̀ Edward Homes and Property Management olùdíje tó bá ṣe pò kíní yóò lọlé pẹ̀lú a plot of land bákan náà ni olùdíje tó bá ṣe pò kejì àti pò kẹta náà ó gbẹ àwọn ẹ̀bùn ńláńlá relé lọ́jọ́ àṣekágbá kí àwọn ọmọ yín tí ọjọ́ orí wọn wà láàrin 8 to 15 years sáà ti pè wọlé láti dáhùn béèrè bó ti tó àti bó ṣe yẹ 32 FM Ramadan quiz Masha Allah ọmọ mi ò ní gbẹ̀yìn bẹ́ẹ̀.
Wọ́n máa fà sálátù ránṣẹ́ o, wọ́n máa fà sálátù.
Every meal I cook must taste just right. Rich, delicious, full of love.
We hear you. Your Maggie Star in double cubes. Double the flavor, double the convenience. The same trusted taste you love. Maggie Star double cubes. Made from fermented soya and other selected ingredients for that deep flavor and quality that only Maggie brings to your dishes.
Absolutely delicious.
Get Maggie double cubes today. Me and Maggie, so good together.
When the people became silent,
the government became oppressive. It's time to lend your voice to politics.
On 32 FM 94.9.
Welcome back. The Podium on 32 FM 94.9. We have with us Mr. Olade Olabankwe, Chairman of the Joint Health Sector Union, JOESU, at the University College Hospital, UCH Ibadan. So before we went to that break, you were explaining the process of negotiation, the difference between health workers at the federal level and health workers at the state level as well. Yeah.
So like I was saying, it's now, it cascades down to the states, but some states, it now depends on their capability. They will negotiate again, using that as a standard.
A template.
Okay. Now depends on the state's capability. Some states are able to pay above what the federal government can offer. Some pay a bit below. And some pay exactly.
Right, thank you. Okay, so let's go to our panelists now. I think Prof is back on the call now. Prof, good morning, sir. Hello, Prof, can you hear me? Hello, Barrister. Barrister, good morning.
Yeah.
Okay, you have the floor now. Okay, yes.
Thank you.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
We have a brother in the health sector in the house. This will be an opportunity for me to ask these questions, which are really troubling, concerning the state of our health institutions in Nigeria. Now, as somebody who is in the system, the health system, I want to ask you, what is the state of primary healthcare system in Nigeria and the secondary healthcare institutions in Nigeria? Because I find that a lot of pressure is put on the tertiary institutions, which should not be if those other two levels are functional. As somebody who is in the sector, can you educate us on the state of those two levels in the healthcare delivery system, the primary healthcare centers and the secondary health institutions?
Thank you, Prof. I want to believe what you were asking me about, you know quite well. In fact, you may know more than me about the state, but I still want to agree I'm the appropriate person to be asked, maybe so that I can talk to the Nigerian populace. To be sincere, these stages you are talking about are nothing to write home about, especially in terms of facilities and equipment. And that is, talk of manpower, talk of experts, were there, I must tell you. And that is why our experts are hotcakes outside the country, and that is why people rush out there to take jobs. You can see the mass exodus of healthcare professionals from Nigeria to the UK, the US, Australia, Canada, and the like. So what's the problem? It is that even the tertiary that they rush to, because even now, usage, for example, you can't say this is our level. We take care of ordinary headache, malaria, everything, because those that are supposed to take care of them are not there, not really there. And that is not to say we too are well funded, not to say we are also well equipped, maybe a very little bit better equipped, but none is there yet. So in terms of equipment, in terms of facilities, in terms of state-of-the-art equipment that we need. And so we just work ourselves out to make sure that we bring out something. So it is just a pity that governments don't have a passion for the masses. And it is simply because they have ordinary headache, they fly and go to where things are okay.
But shouldn't GSU be concerned about the state of primary healthcare facilities in the country? Because I understand that primary healthcare centers are not even under the purview of the federal government. They're under the purview of states, and if you had a functioning local government area. So aren't there supposed to be health workers in those areas? And shouldn't they also be concerned about this state? Shouldn't that be part of the things you ask for, especially from the state government? Because these are health institutions under the purview of state and local government.
Yes, we've been seriously concerned. We've shown a lot of concern. We've engaged the government, the state governments on several occasions, even the local governments and the like. And I must tell you, there are some pockets of improvements. Talk of the local government facilities, for example, because they were seriously understaffed before, and we took that up, and gradually the staffing, though the staffing is a bit better now, not that they are there, but there is an improvement. But where we are coming from is seriously bad. That is why the improvement may not be so glaring now. So we're still on it. It's not everything we engage the government on that you get to know about. It is when it gets to the level of strike that people get to know.
Yeah, because the general perception is that, unions like GSU and the likes only go on strike when they're asking for pay increase. That's the perception, that we don't get to hear, we're going on strike because we want you to improve the state of facilities, or we're going on strike because we want you to improve the primary healthcare centers, or because, there are issues with our infrastructure at this health institution and the like. So we always feel like it's only when you want a pay rise, because you also said yourself that number one demand on the table before you talk to the federal government was the salary adjustment, and immediately was met, you suspended the strike.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. This is not the first time we'll be going on strike, and go and check our previous demands. But it is that in most cases, it is issue of our own pay that is the most difficult for the government. All other things, they will, by the time we roar, by the time we make noises, they do some patching, they attend to an extent. And to the extent that we say, okay, we can manage with this. But when it comes to our pay, they believe it's easy to maybe blackmail us and say, they are asking for money. It's because of money that they are going on strike. They don't find it comfortable for us to say the hospitals are under-equipped. That is why we are going on strike. So because of that, they try to either promise or do some little palliative. But when it comes to pay, we just must go on strike. That is why it may appear that way.
Okay. All right, let's go to Prof now. Prof?
Yes, I quite agree with his position. That's the experience of ASU as well. And you find within the debates in the union, people say, why do you not always concerned about other Nigerians? Why are they concerned about this? If we keep pursuing that, we will get nothing. At the end of the day, the infrastructure money that is released, it has nothing to do with us. Those who are supposed to spend it will be the one asking for those things. So let's concentrate on our terms and conditions of employment. So it's a very challenging situation. Now, my own concern is really this. We have a system that is operational all over the world that make both funding and management of health system a bit easier. That is the health insurance scheme. I think that in Nigeria, we now have a health insurance scheme. Many state governments also have health insurance scheme. And the health sector is, unlike the educational sector, they actually charge. And whether they charge or not, you know also that you must buy drugs. So I'm wondering, what is the contribution of this health insurance to these all challenges that have they not improved the funding of the health system, or the coverage is too limited? What is it about the health insurance scheme that we don't see it having a very significant impact on the funding of the health system?
Thank you, sir. Even with that work in the health sector, we lament, because we too we patronize the facility we operate. We too will lament. What I have discovered about the Nigerian health insurance policies, that it's a good policy, well packaged, but poorly implemented. Maybe it's because it's Nigerians that are implementing it as well. It's poorly implemented in such a way that you don't really get your entitlement, you don't get your right, you get what is available. Well packaged, I must repeat, but you get to the hospital, where you are enrolled, you have your prescription, and you get to the pharmacy, they tell you this is out of stock, this is out of stock, this is out of stock. And you are forced to go out and be looking for them. They say this is not available. The equipment for this test or investigation is faulty. So you are directed to somewhere outside too. So we don't really know what's happening about the insurance. Maybe those who are directly in charge will tell us more. But we know Nigerians have not been enjoying what they are entitled to based on the package of the policy. If it is implemented to the letter, it's...
But from your experience, you think it is? Because from what you've said now, some of us have also experienced it as well. In fact, in the health insurance system now, there are a lot of players, private and public as well. So they tell you this is not available. Do you think it's deliberate, or it really is not available, or maybe your package does not really cover the kind of treatment that you're asking for?
No, the issue of coverage is on one side.
On one side, okay.
But those that are covered are a lot. Enough for you to be okay. If it's not that it's a kind of extreme condition, it has covered a lot. But I won't say it's deliberate, but I won't also make a blanket statement. Nigerians we sabotage the government's effort, fought a lot. May God forgive us. Because so some it may be deliberate, to some it may not be deliberate. The private, I have seen a situation where it was deliberate. Okay. I've experienced it. But where I have the opportunity to be an insider, I know it has never been deliberate, but it has been due to one situation or the other beyond control, and it is still because some other policies are not properly implemented, or the health sector is underfunded.
Right. So let's go back to UCH now, because you're an insider there. That is your primary constituency. It's one of the prime tertiary health institutions in Nigeria. One of the places that a few people still make reference to as a top health institution in the country, but it has its own challenges as well. So from your experience as an insider, what do you think is the primary challenge with usage? Is it funding? Is it management? Is it, do you put the entire blame on the federal government? Because it's not what it used to be, how it started years ago.
Well, I'm here mainly to talk about what has to do with the staff and staff welfare.
But it concerns you. What happens internally also concerns you as well.
Yes, but I wouldn't want to say much better. I would say it's an issue of funding, then bottlenecks.
What kind of bottlenecks?
Well, I'm not blaming this on anybody, but yes. For example, you need drugs. Why not just partly with a company, the drug manufacturing company, where they bring it to you? But in a situation where the policy prevents you, then you have to pass through some bottlenecks. Look, for example, we need an equipment which you can. That's how I think. Can just even make contact with the manufacturer. Say, give them specifications and say, I want this microphone. This is what I want. You can even customize it for me and the like. But now you have to go through contractor who will buy, resell for you at about double the cost. All this prevents you from managing the little resources you have, and all this bottleneck add to the problems.
The reason I'm asking is because as a health worker, I know you are going to be very familiar with the infrastructure, the equipment, because you work with this equipment. Talk about the lab scientists and all of that. So you'll be more familiar with at the core of the challenges. That's why I'm asking, so that people can know what is happening there.
Yes, I am, but as the management that is more experienced, more better authorized to talk about it. So that's why I want to limit my comments on that.
Okay, so let's go back to the agreement you had with the federal government. You've said that there's a timeline by April. If that is not implemented, you might have to go on strike again, because we've had cases of governments not implementing agreements with different unions. I think ASU recently, there's been implementation of their 40% increment and all of that. But how concerned are you about the government going back on various agreements that have been had with unions, even beyond JOSU as well, and failing to implement it, and then having to go back and forth and go back on strike again before the government listens?
We've experienced it a lot of time, but as you know, because we handle human life, I want to tell you, if we were to be from another extraction or another sector, we wouldn't have presumed. But we don't just look at one direction. So we have to give the benefit of doubt to our dear patients, which includes even ourselves, because it can be anyone. And even during the strike, it happened to me as well. One of my boys played ball, wounded his arm. I had to be looking for how to sort myself out. Yes. In fact, the private hospital, I must say, I was duped today. I was just defrauded. So, what am I trying to say? We considered a lot of factors. So, it's not that we have 100% trust in the government, but at least the Nigerians too will see if at last the government reneges on their promises.
But you were on strike for 84 days. That must have taken a toll on the patients in the hospital. 84 days.
That's what I was saying, that if we now have a promise, I would want to have, prevent a situation where the people will say, you two, now with this promise, with these terms of settlements was signed by the government, you should, if you really love your patients, you should consider.
Can you give us like a picture of what happens when JSU is on strike? Because I think I'm familiar with ASU and NASU. Because if NASU is on strike, for instance, you go to the University of Ibadan, for instance, you know what you're expected to see. You know, the gates will be locked, the transport services will not operate for that period, offices will not be accessible, and all of that. So what's the nature of your own strike when you're striking? Give me a picture. If I go to UCH, for instance, JSU is on strike, what am I likely to see?
Thank you.
Yes.
I just give me a picture. How I would have loved you have come down to take the picture by yourself.
Yeah.
Because UCH is a public place where anybody can pump in and have an idea. Notwithstanding, I will try, but it won't be as good as if you haven't.
No, you can just describe that the labs will be short. You know.
Yes, I will. Yes. Let me start by saying, when you say JSU is not a union. It's an amalgamation of
various unions, yes.
4 different unions. Senior Staff Association, Nigerian Union of Allied Health Professionals, NASU, Non-Academic Staff Union, and Medical Health Workers Union. 4 different unions. And that is why I said the other time that my JSU consists of both senior staff, junior, and intermediate.
Okay.
So we have the health professionals that are not physicians, which includes the physiotherapists, the optometrists, pharmacists, medical laboratory scientists, dietitians, or other professionals in the health field. And this is a team work. So the care of patients is not possible without the input of all these professionals. Beyond this, we have non-health professionals, including the accountants, the engineers, and the like, even including lawyers. Everyone has his own inputs. We have the administrators, who take care of all the administrative issues.
And then the maintenance guys.
The maintenance people, including the engineers and the artisans. We have the gate men, the security men, the cleaners. Everyone has his own union. All the unions come together to form JSU. So when JSU goes on strike, what happens is right from the gate, the people that should welcome you, open the gate for you, are not there. So you come in, you park as a patient, you park your cars, they are not safe. No security. Normally when you enter UCH, you get a tally. You keep it. No one can go out with your car without producing the tally. That is not there. Free entry, free exit. All other gates, we have 3 gates. During strike, only 1 gate is open. And that one that is open is just free. And when you enter, of course, our friends, the physicians, are on duty, but they can do nothing without us. I repeat, nothing. What do? They see patients. After seeing them, refer them outside. When I say see them, listen to them, clock them, say, what's happening? How do you feel? Okay. Then refer them to outside the hospitals, where they go and begin again. That is all that has been happening. And that is
for
why...
those 84 days.
Yes. Yeah. That is why if you pass in front of the emergency department on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you see all the beds brought out. They've gathered dust. They fumigated the beds, fumigated the whole department. Same with the theater. As we speak, the theater is still under fumigation. That is to say, no surgery could take place, no emergency care, nothing, because we are the hospital. Like I told my members, without you, nobody can spare UCH. That is it.
Right, so let's go to Barrister now. Barrister? Hello, Barrister.
Yes. Toba, thank you very much. And our guest. There is a complaint, and I also want you to address it. It's about the procedure at the hospitals, particularly at UCH, when a patient is brought in. You find all the facilities, not concentrated in a sector where it is so needed. Somebody is asked to go and do something which is about 500 meters away, go and do this one somewhere there, go and get this one there. For a patient that needs urgent attention. I don't know why the procedure is such. Perhaps you can also educate us on that.
Okay. Thank you, Barrister. One, let me clarify this. For emergency care, it is not so. I am an insider. Somebody is rushed in. I've as well rushed someone in. And I've been there, I've witnessed a lot of people being rushed in. The person is being attended to, while the relatives that come with him or her will be doing all the runnings. Now, concerning why you don't have everything at a spot, it is simply because we are human beings. That we are. Everything has its own department, and it is so that usage can continue to be usage. It can continue to serve you. It can continue to exist, and so that there can be checks and balances. You pay where you're supposed to pay, not where you're supposed not to pay. You get the care where you're supposed to get it. Of course, every department also has its own peculiarity. You can't come and put the lab where you take care of the children, for example, because you want to prevent infection. You can't put the lab where the pregnant people are. So there are where some things should be done, and that is where they are done. And also remember, University College Hospital is a teaching hospital. But talk of emergency, no. We attend to emergencies immediately, but those who have to do the runnings are the patient's relatives. Why the patient is being attended to, not you delay attending to emergency until when they have gone around.
Those runnings can be exhausting. I've experienced it personally, where you have to go to this floor, that building before you.
Yes, because
yes.
Consider the size of UCH, and you will know that all those distances are just necessary. You can't compress it into only one room. It's a very big hospital. That's just it.
Right, let's go to Prof now. Prof. Hello, Prof.
I'm right here.
Yes, I wanted to even get your thoughts, because I have a feeling about what is happening in the education system as well. It's kind of similar, where you have NASU on one side and ASU on one side as well. To what extent would you say maybe harmonizing both would be more productive in terms of agitating for workers' welfare and also seeking improvement in those two critical institutions? Because right now what we have is one union is making its demand, another union is making its own demand. One union goes on strike, another one suspends, and then it's been on for years. And what he explained as actually with the health workers being on strike, it's a bit similar with NASU also being on strike in the university system. So talk to us about probably harmonizing the two unions for a more efficient advocacy, on the government.
Yes, there are actually about 3 unions. There's also the senior staff.
Yes, SANU. Yes. So
I have had a chance to discuss this with some leadership of our union, and I've told them that we can't continue to behave as if we are operating in separate environments, even though the unions are composed of different cadres within the educational sector. I think it's important for us to know that. One union cannot just go alone on its own. And then the argument is really that when the other union do their own, they tend to base their agitation on what we have done and use us as a benchmark for that. And then they also become victims of the divide and rule strategies of the government. But what has happened over the years is that there's often this joint negotiating team. So when they are looking at the university system generally, they bring the various unions together. And I think that's the reasonable thing to do, and the line that we should continue to pursue. So, and right now, we've not heard any reaction from NASU or the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, their central organizing body, concerning the current situation that the ASU has been able to negotiate with the federal government. But my feeling is that the federal government will eventually take them along, and the issue will be resolved. I think the position of the union that they can't take on the responsibilities of those unions, but they can afford not to be antagonistic to them, which I think is the position that all of them should take. Because at the end of the day, you can't run the university without, the non-teaching staff, and you cannot run the university based on non-teaching staff only. So if they are complementary units, then there should be a framework through which they can all work together to engage their employer. And I think that has evolved naturally. What is required is to actually strengthen those kind of interaction to avoid these wildcat strikes.
Yeah, and staying with you, Prof, one of the things I've heard is that there's always this feeling of the federal government prioritizing one over the other, or listening to one's demand over the other, or hastening its response, to one's demand over the other. Do you think that perception perhaps leads to this sort of internal rivalry amongst these unions? Yes,
that has actually changed because ASU has suffered a heavy blow.
Yes,
and so we find ourselves in a situation where even teachers in the polytechnics and colleges for education earn higher than those of us in the university until this recent
increment. Yes.
So that prioritization no longer exists, and I think it was a humbling experience for us. And we had to also, like he was talking about, toning down the emphasis on infrastructure and the working environment into prioritizing the conditions and terms and welfare of academic staff of the staff. So we have all learned from experience, and I think we are beginning to understand how to navigate our way around the government. And if you notice, during the last strike, before we could even spend the 1 week, and the government prevailed on us to call it off. We actually did call it off as a mark of respect for the government, which is something that has never happened before. So we have to eat humble pie and rethink our strategy of engaging with the government. What is important is that we must not lose sight of the fact that it is not only our pay that is important. I think the work environment is also there, but we think that we can do that collectively, for instance, or in fact, ask the committee of vice chancellors, who are those who eventually spend the money, to carry on that responsibility. These are some of the debates that's going on within the university system.
Yeah, I like the fact that Prof mentioned it as well, because I was going to ask that if all unions are toning down infrastructure and equipment and the like, who is going to, put the government on its toes to deliver on the infrastructure? Because the infrastructure is also crucial to the, efficient delivery of your responsibility. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, okay, Prof, go ahead. Yes.
And let me just add this question to it, because that's actually what I was going to do.
Yes.
There is always this special intervention fund. If you remember, when Obasanjo was in government, there was a special intervention fund to upgrade all teaching hospitals for which UCH was a beneficiary. And when you go to the UCH at that time, there's a huge billboard with Obasanjo's photograph and all the wonderful things they plan to do in the UCH. Now, you go to UCH even a few years after, and you're asking yourself, what happened to those billions of dollars that were used, to upgrade the facility? And then you also talked about the stress of going from one level to another level in trying to get something out of it, and the toll it takes on those who visit the UCH. And I'm saying there's automation, there is organization, because we have an idea of what the architectural design of the UCH is. And is it not possible for some of those things to be organized in such a way that UCH will be more patient and user friendly? Because it's a really gory experience going to this, and many people, if they can afford it, they don't even want to go close to UCH because of the stress.
Yeah. So special intervention fund and automation, proper organization. Yes.
Well, anything that has to do with fund, as far as UCH is concerned, I can't talk about it. What do I even know? We have.
I feel like you know a lot. You're just holding back.
We have the director of finance,
and
accounts, who is in the best place to talk about all this intervention fund. Maybe when they spend it and they put a plaque on the structure, we may get to know.
But shouldn't your union be concerned? Be asking those questions. That this is an institution where we work. We heard that the government released this amount of money. We don't want to know how it has been, spent, whether or not it has been judiciously executed. Shouldn't you be asking those questions?
When we get to know, we ask questions. But
the Obasanjo intervention was very open, was public. In fact, I remember seeing those billboards at the time.
Okay.
Yes.
All I can say is, we get see those who handles it directly.
Right.
When you don't have facts and figures with you, and you are talking, you are bound to fumble.
Yes.
And,
So, but as your union being at that stage before, in terms of asking those questions from the management of these health institutions.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
We do, and.
Do you feel like the answers that are provided are satisfactory? In terms of how the funds are spent.
Maybe semi-satisfactory. We can't say totally satisfactory, but
I feel like you're holding a lot back, Mr. Alabankwe.
Maybe because I'm not the appropriate person to be talking about funds.
Yeah.
Okay, you ask me now, how much is the fund? Do I know? Right. I don't. How is it spent? I may not have the facts and figures. So
but those who manage the funds are, with JOSU, they are in JOSU, they are health workers as well.
In JOSU as members.
All right.
They still have the duty of keeping the confidentiality of their duty.
Okay.
So, for example, I have lawyers as members of JOSU.
And you are the chairman.
Yes. That does not mean anything that has to do with legal issues.
They will reveal to you.
Duty bound to reveal to me.
Except it affects the welfare of your members.
Even if it does, they will still not reveal unless we request officially.
Okay.
Because it is then they will have need official permission to do so.
Right.
Because we must not mix two things together. Their duties as a staff and their duties as members of a union.
The other one about automation, proper organization to reduce, because we are in the tech age now. All those things should have at least reduced in terms of easing the stress on those who visit patients.
I must say, I can say usage is trying to blend with the technology, but maybe the pace is not as fast as you expect. But we're trying. For example, you are talking about people going here and there.
Because I've experienced it too.
But when you come to the emergency department now, some things that used to be manual are now automated. Now you have a pay point just at the emergency department. You don't have to climb the staircase. You don't have to go to another department. You have a pharmacy there. And a lot of other things you will need immediately. Right there that you can, like a few seconds, walk down there. So we're improving. I can tell you that.
Okay, let's go to Barrister now. Final round of questions as we end the first part of the program. Barrister?
Yes, Toba, thank you, Jerry. Let me look for Prof's trouble. You know that the federal government has put smiles on their faces.
Yes.
So the case of my take-home pay cannot take me home has now been replaced by my take-home pay can even take me anywhere.
Can take me home and there will be leftover.
There will be leftover. So I was with a couple of my friends, and I said, from now henceforward, any member of ASU that is caught doing what is unethical, like
election,
Zama practice,
and those kind of things, that they should be sentenced to life imprisonment. So I'm looking at the health sector too. A lot of people complain about, the human relations of health workers, particularly nurses. Some say they are most of the times very hostile to them, and it pervades the general health sector. What are you doing about this? We are always on your side when you are fighting government so that you get your rightful dues. But what are you also doing to ensure that health officials and patient relationship is improved, rather than the blood stories?
Right. But before you respond, let me quickly welcome our guest for the second segment of the show. Dr. Wale Fashakin is already on the call. Please stay on the call, sir. We're about to wrapping up the first segment, and we'll join the conversation very shortly with you. Thank you for joining us on the podium. Good morning, sir. Please stay on the call, sir.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir. All right, so go ahead. Yes.
Thank you, sir. What you have just mentioned has two sides. Our members' side, we're doing a lot, and it's yielding, and we've been seeing the results. It's improving. We've been seeing the improvement. We talk to our members. We organize a lot of talks that will make things better, because we don't support any act of maybe negligence or assault on patients or any kind unprofessional attitude towards the patients. But notwithstanding, the other side of it is the side of the government. Not to play the devil's advocate, but notwithstanding, because you've pinpointed a profession, nursing, and that is the art of healthcare. Anyway, there are other things. That is why when people say you are looking for pay, you are fighting for pay, when you are well paid, you will be able to serve people better. You calm down, you concentrate, you don't have emotions that you want to transfer to your patients. But beyond this, do you know how understaffed our hospitals are? And when we talk of exodus, the number one profession that has left the soil of Nigeria is the nurses.
Yes,
they are the nurses, and now we are seriously understaffed. Same for other professions. Now, where there used to be 5 nurses, you now have only 2.
Attending to hundreds of patients. There's no way there won't be a kind of aggressions coming from somewhere. The patient that is expecting to be attended to, but the attention is not coming on time because the nurse is trying to sort himself out among the FTDT before it will be somehow aggressive. The person attending is already tired and weak. So now, I have been admitted for 3 months plus. I know who was taking care of me. The physician will come in, have a look at some things, have a look at me, and leave. The nurses will stay with me throughout. In fact, when I pass urine inside the urine bag, they want to see it, look at its consistency, how it looks, look at the color, measure it, look at the volume. We call it output. What's its output like? And those are what the physician will feed on when he comes in. Right.
The work is too enormous for them. We are stressing them too much. And when you get to elastic limits, anything can happen. That is the government side. Our hospitals are understaffed, and that is affecting people and their attitudes a lot.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oladayo Olabankwe, Chairman of the Joint Health Sector Union, the University College Hospital, UCH Ibadan. Thank you for being a part of the podium this morning.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, Barrister, yes. Yes, sir.
You know, go let Prof answer the accusation against them.
All right, maybe towards the end. Maybe Prof can do that. Maybe towards the end. Let's quickly go to Dr. Wale Fashaki now, former assistant to the late Chief Moshood Kashima Olawale Abiola MKO, joins us on the podium this morning. Thank you once again for joining us on the podium, sir. Good morning.
It's my pleasure. Happy Valentine too.
Yeah, same to you, sir. So, yes, certainly. As you can see on the call, we have two panelists, Professor Remi Ayede, University of Ibadan, Political Science, and Barrister Yomi Ogunola. So they will be asking you questions and also making contributions in the course of the discussion. Okay, so let me start with you. I mean, you were a personal assistant to somebody that's still highly revered as the person who won the widely acclaimed freest and fairest elections in the political history of Nigeria. It's been over 30 years now. We are just about 1 year to election, and there are still concerns about the credibility and transparency of the electoral process. Why do you think that 30 years down the line, we have still not had, or there's still no consensus among the political elite as to, a credible and transparent election in Nigeria? There's still doubt about the ability of INEC to conduct an election that will be satisfactory to the winner and the loser, just like we had in 1993?
Thank you for this your question. It is a very good question. I will start by allowing us to go down memory lane. Babangida was a very good leader. He has a very good policy, but implementation and the end of it make everything to fail. In the first instance, Chief Abiola's election was adjourned the most fairest and the most credible election in Nigeria. If you go by it, they started the primary through ward election. If you want to be a president of Nigeria, you want to be a governor of Nigeria by Babangida's policy, then you have to start with your local government, with your ward. Then the election, they will pick you as a candidate for the ward. Then you move to the local government before you move to the state, before you move to the national if you want to be president. And the election was held as open as ever. People lined up behind their preferred candidate, and it was counted. There was no ambiguities in it. If that election had been allowed to stand, by now, all what we are talking about election rigging, about the election malpractices, it could have gone down the drain, because many other African countries could have emulated the process that was cost effective. You can see the amount of money that have been budgeted for election in Nigeria now. Then how much was budgeted? There was not even polling agent, there was no party agent or whatever. People were there, and it was counted and it was recorded by everybody. That is one of the reasons why we are still finding it very, very difficult today to have a credible election, because the event has been taken over by the power that be, by money back. Many of the people that are contesting the election now doesn't have relationship with their ward. They don't even know their ward. They don't even know their local government. They don't even know the problem of their local government. They use money now to fight for elections. And if you invest so much in an election, you'll be looking for a way of keeping it back. And that is why all these things are happening. And I hope one day we get it right anyway. And until we go back to the drawing board and see Onyamukun and Rewo, he said the crippled person, the what is carrying is wobbling. He asked them to start looking from the ground so that they will see that it's not even straight. So why are you looking at the top alone? We should start from where we have missed it and look for how we can mend it.
Right.
So
Yes, and one of the things that have also come up in recent time is the issue of bigotry, tribalism, and people still make reference to 1993, saying that we had an election where, both the presidential candidate and his running mates were Muslims, and that didn't raise any concerns whatsoever. 30 years down the line in 2023, the Muslim ticket was a big issue as well, and there were religious and ethnic narrative across both divides, questioning the line that people were going to toe in that election. So what do you think distinguished 1993 in such a way that religious consideration didn't matter to people, and why do you think these conversations are coming up now when we're supposed to concentrate on the credibility of the candidate? Everywhere you turn now, there are questions about tribe, there are questions about religion, and all of that. What set 1993 apart, and it still continues to be a reference point till today?
You see, if like what I have said earlier on, if Babangida have allowed that election of 1993 to stay, all these things would have come up. In 1993, nobody was thinking of tribe. Nobody was thinking of religion. Nobody was thinking of self-centered people. They were all focused on what the person can do and what the person personality represents. 𝐂𝐈𝐒 Abiola, for instance, was widely accepted by everybody when he was alive. He contributed towards religious programs, towards Muslim programs, traditional programs. And when he picked King Gibe as his running mate, nobody was thinking about either it's a Muslim ticket or Muslim Christian or whatever. If we have done that and we have allowed it to stay, by now nobody will be thinking of, even if anybody picked Christian. But they jettisoned that, they truncated that election, it was annulled. And our current politicians are now using religion. That's the three problems we have in Nigeria. It's religion, it's tribalism, and self-centered people. Those are the three things we have that's our problem. And it may be very, very difficult to get rid of this because the politicians are also using it to gain favor, to gain support. And that is the big problem we are having. And I don't know how we can get rid of it anyway.
Right.
Until I don't know how we can get it right through those three devices that are really separating us.
Right. And, the message, the campaign mantra at the time was Hope 93. Interestingly, the president now was an active, member of the pro-democracy movement after the annulment, campaigned, went on exile, supported, media activism against the military government. And I just want to ask you, do you think there is a nexus between him and the personality of Abiola? Because there's those who say he just took advantage of the June 12 movement and benefited from it to ride onto power to become president. His own mantra was, or still is, renewed hope. Some say he modeled it after Hope 93. Is there any similarity whatsoever, or do you think he took advantage of that MK Abiola movement to also, gather influence before eventually becoming president of the country?
Chief Tinubu, the president was deeply involved in the struggle to actualize June 12. During the campaign, it was not visible anyway. The only impact he made during the campaign was that he took 𝐃𝐈𝐒 Abiola to his mother, who was then the Yaloja of Lagos State, for the support. And when the election was annulled, then Tinubu was a senator.
Yes.
When the election was on, and he wouldn't have much time to follow us everywhere we went during the campaign because it wasn't part of the campaign trail. But when the election was annulled, he played a very vital role. He put his life on the line to make sure June 12 was actualized. You could remember when Abiola went on self-exile and he came back, myself, Tinubu, and some other prominent people were with Abacha in his office. But before that, when Sonekan was in government, every night around 11 or 1, President Tinubu will come to Ikeja with his caravan bus, with a driver. I think that driver was from somewhere in Oyo State, very close to Ibadan. Maybe this where they make dodo or whatever the dodo killing. It was for the killing. They will come late at night and pick 𝐃𝐈𝐒, myself, Babarere is late now, and the driver Asho. I mean the photographer is also late. We go from Diya's house to Abacha's house to Jonathan's house. And we were not privy to what they were saying because we stay in the vehicle while they were going. And what we suspect they were discussing then was how they can hand over power to Abiola. Because at that time, Seneca was in power. And they were all planning on how this thing can be reversed to Abiola. That might be one of the reasons. I'm suspecting this, my opinion too, that was one of the reasons why they agreed for Babangida for Abacha to take over government, because he promised then that he's going to hand over power to Chief M.K. Abiola. But as you know it, when power comes to hand, power is so sweet. All what the plans and all the arrangement made pre-Abacha taking over was jettisoned. And that was why the struggle now continue, and even to the extent that Chief Tinubu's life was on the line. But for your question,
yes,
Tinubu was part of Hope 93, and the slogan for Hope 93 was farewell to poverty. President Tinubu doesn't want to name his own slogan as Hope 93. That's why I say he renew hope. He wants to renew the Hope 93 agenda. And that was the reason why he put his slogan, Renew Hope. That means farewell to poverty. But the way he's going about it may be different from the way Chief M.K. Abiola wanted to go about it in the first instance. But for the fact that he was part and parcel of that program, that was why during the inauguration I was in Abuja, I was shedding tears because of the fact that I was hoping, if it is Abiola that is being sworn in today, it would have been more better. But the constitution then was that President Tinubu was part and parcel of Hope 93. Since he has make his own slogan, Renew Hope, we were all happy. They have come in to renew the hope of Hope 93.
Right. Let's go to Prof now. Prof. Hello, Prof.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, you have the floor. Yes.
Thank you, and welcome to this segment of the podium. My question has to do with the policy direction that you have just stated. Because Hope 93 was farewell to poverty. But was renewed hope also farewell to poverty? And given in the light of the policies that has gone on since 2023, do you think that apart from the concept of hope, that this government borrowed some policy ideas from MKO's program? Because one of the very exciting things about the MKO agenda was not just that the slogan was hope. There were concrete measures, including beyond Nigeria, talking about reparation and all kinds of things. There were concrete issues that the MKO Abiola campaign carried on at that time. Do you think that this government, in terms of policy, is in any way connected to that regime that if MKO had been in government?
Thank you very much, my prof. You see, there is one thing we should realize. In the past, when you want to put a mark in somebody's face to beautify him, the pain in having that mark will initially be there. But as time goes on, the pains will be off and the beauty of that person will come out. We cannot rule out the fact that the government, the Nigerian government and the past government have done a lot to revive the economy of Nigeria. And there is no way Tinubu can just come in without putting up some of these policies. And I can bet you today, if by adventure, anybody comes in as the president of Nigeria, most of the policies of President Tinubu can never be reversed. For example, the removal of fuel subsidy that had brought a lot of hardship to Nigeria. We knew how the things was being in the past, that some people are just the privileged one, are the one benefiting on all these things. And again, the exchange rate, that you can be at the confine of your house and you become a millionaire once you are a friend to the governor of the central bank. All these things cumulated to what is happening to us now. And that is why the pain is there. Because the fact remains that all what we have been benefiting before through fuel subsidies and many other things has been removed. And furthermore, this tax reform, by the time it is fully implemented, you can even see now, many of those who are earning less are jubilating now that at least something has been added to their salary. In the past, maybe it's because it is written in the Bible, and that one, people that are earning less, if you go to the north, those are most of the things they depend on, taxing those who are earning less than 20,000 or 18,000 every month. And when this money are being collected, what use do they make of it? Goes to the private hands. You see, so the policies of Chief Tinubu, as of now, may be painful, but with time, there is going to be light at the end of the tunnel. That is the way I can put it.
Okay, let's go to Barrister now. Although we're about to go on break, I don't know if Barrister would ask one or two questions before we go on the break. Barrister?
Yes, thank you, Toba. I am really enjoying our guest, particularly with respect to the reminiscences of a glorious past. And it is particularly with reference to the conduct of elections that I want to ask him a question. According to him and to many Nigerians, indeed the whole world, the election that brought MKO Abiola to the fore, has been rated one of the most free, one of the most fair, and one of the most credible elections that has ever been conducted in Nigeria, if not in Africa. But that election was conducted under a military administration. Today, it is like a camel attempting to go through the eye of a needle to have a free, fair, and credible election under a democratic dispensation. What then did the military do that the civilians are not doing?
Right. So please, Dr. Wale Fashakin, just hold that thought. I don't know if you got his question correctly. When we get back from this commercial break, you'll be answering that question.
I got him.
Yes. So when we get back from this break, you'll be answering the question. Do stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM, 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Every meal I cook must taste just right. Rich, delicious, full of love.
We hear you. Your Maggie Star in double cubes, double the flavor, double the convenience. The same trusted taste you love. Maggie Star double cubes, made from fermented soya and other selected ingredients for that deep flavor and quality that only Maggie brings to your dishes.
Absolutely delicious.
Get Maggie double cubes today. Me and Maggie, so good together.
Ilé-iṣẹ́ Real Phones ti kẹ́bùn dé o. Ilé-iṣẹ́ Real Phone Repair and Unlock Services. Ìyẹn ilé-iṣẹ́ tá a fi sísòkú fóònù dálàyè rán. Tí wọ́n sì ta onírúurú screen tẹ́ bá fẹ́. Lọ́kọ̀ ẹ̀bùndé rẹpẹtẹ fún gbogbo ẹni tó bá tún fóònù ṣe tàbí rajà nílé iṣẹ́ wa. Ní àjọyọ̀ ẹ̀ka tuntun tá a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣí sí Mọ́kọ́lá nílùú Ìbàdàn. Àwọn ẹ̀bùn bíi screen guard méjì fún ẹnìkan, data cable àti data subscription sí orí síìmù rẹ̀. Ẹ̀ka tí wà ní number 31C Nipos Shopping Complex ní ìdojúkọ Cocoa House. Gẹ́lẹ́kẹ̀ tó wọlé lẹ́ẹ̀tì kàn wọ́n lẹ́nu géètì àti ní gẹ́lẹ́tẹ̀ bá wọlé tán. Ẹ ò tún kàn wọ́n lápọ̀ tún yín. Sára ṣàṣà di oníbàárà wọn kó jàǹfààní àwọn ẹ̀bùn wọ̀nyí ní ẹ̀ka tí Mọ́kọ́lá tàbí ti Dùgbẹ̀. Ẹ pè wọ́n sórí 0706 436 8169 0706 436 8169 Real Phone Repair and Unlock Services. Ojútùú sí gbogbo ìpèníjà fóònù rẹ̀.
32 FM News. First, we're telling real stories. We air stories from the perspectives of the people, stories that our people can relate with.
In news delivery, we are fast, objective, and accurate.
We're all about changing the narratives by telling underreported stories and bringing those behind the news to your doorsteps.
At 12 noon and 4 p.m., we will continue to bring you comprehensive and factual news at home and across our various social platforms.
The stories you need to keep up with, from community news to sports, business, politics, and a lot more.
32 FM News, first with telling real stories.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste it and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Yes.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo 3-in-1 milky and creamy for you. It's so milky. I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids Milo 3-in-1, milky and creamy. It's truly milky. It contains calcium to help your champ win every day. Milo, energy to go further.
Milo. This Ramadan, emotions ignite. Can rival sisters overcome pride? Will a defiant daughter find forgiveness? Can a bride's faith save her husband? A businessman rediscovers family. An influencer chooses between friends and fame. A single mom discovers even strength needs support.
6 stories, 30 days. Faith, family, friendship, food, forgiveness. Tales of Ramadan Season 2. Catch every dramatic moment on TV and digital. This Ramadan, Maggie turns up the heat.
Me and Maggie, so good together.
Is it okay to make fun of our tooth? Let's have a talk. Colgate makes your teeth so strong. Stop cover your mouth. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate. 0 cavities and fresh breath. If you use a Colgate paste. Not to do younger with your smile. Brush your teeth with Colgate.
Colgate, #1 oral care brand in the world.
gbogbo kọ́lékọ́lé àtàgbàlékọ́ ẹ̀ wá gbọ́n tí mo fẹ́ wí àlàyé tó wà nínú rẹ̀ ní kẹ́ ẹ bá ń fetí sí. torí pàlàyé inú rẹ̀ ní selọ́dà bíi abc. pàtàkì lílo òrùlé jẹ̀rá roofing system ló tí mo fẹ́ wí. òrùlé jẹ̀rá tó jójúlówó kì í ti ṣá tàbí pàwọ̀dà. bẹ́ẹ̀ o lè gbọ́ ṣàrẹ̀ṣàrẹ̀ òjò lábẹ́ òrùlé jẹ̀rá dì. bóòrùn ràn minimini lábẹ́ ilé tẹ́ bá fi òrùlé jẹ̀rá dì bu ọmọ tutù. ó tún bu ẹwà òun yìí kọ́lé tí ó sì gbé yọ sóńbẹ̀. láti wá ra ojúlówó òrùlé jẹ̀rá lẹ́dínwó pátápátá. Laola Mega Top Concept Limited lasojú àtàlágbàtà kan gbòógì lórílẹ̀‐èdè nàìjíríà fún iléeṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe gerard roofing system tó jẹ́ stone coated látòrílẹ̀‐èdè new zealand tó wá pẹ̀lú warranty 50 ọdún gbáko lọ́ọ̀sẹ̀ nílò láti dààmú lọ sílùú èkó mọ́. àwọn kọ́lékọ́lé àtàgbálẹ́kọ́ tí wọ́n mọ yìí ń dáradára ni wọ́n mú di trọ́ọ̀kì wọlé sí Laola Mega Top Concept Limited Adex Road Orogun Express òpópónà márosẹ̀ ọjọ́ nílùú ìbàdàn ni wọ́n kalẹ̀ sí 08185481113.
Mariaba lawan salam, Mariaba lawan salam, oṣù ìkéde Ramadan.
Ahlan wa sahlan famarhaba ya sharral karim. Oṣù bùkún oṣù àforíjìn, oṣù Ramadan náà máa wulẹ̀ máa rọra. Oṣù tí Ọlọ́run Ọba Allah sọ wípé gbogbo ẹni bá ṣe dáadáa kan níbẹ̀ òun yóò san ní ẹ̀san lọ́pọ̀. Nínú iṣẹ́ ládá tí ẹ̀dá tún lè ṣe, tí ládá ẹ̀dá ó tún fi tẹ̀sùn lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run Ọba Allah. Ó ní kí ẹ̀dá ó máa ná nínú ohun tí Ọlọ́run fún lóore sójú ọ̀nà tọlọ́run. Kí ládá tèmi tìrẹ lè tún tẹ̀sùn lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run Ọba Allah. Pàtàkì jùlọ nínú oṣù Ramadan. Ìdí nìyí tí ìkànnì 32 FM 94.9 tá a kalẹ̀ ká sájà kan kókó ọ̀zùgbẹ̀ nílẹ̀ Ìbàdàn fi ṣe àgbékalẹ̀ àwọn ètò ọlọ́kùn òjọ̀kan tí a lè ṣe onígbọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀ nínú oṣù Ramadan yìí láti jẹ́ kí ládàá tiwa náà tún kún kẹ́kẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run Ọba. àwọn ètò tí a lè ṣe onígbọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀ bíi wáàsí ọlọ́gbọ̀n ṣẹ́jú oníṣẹ́jú 15 oníṣẹ́jú 10 àti oníṣẹ́jú 5. bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni ìrun pípè lọ́lọ́kùn òjọ̀kan àti àwọn ètò kíni àti ètò ìpolówó ọjà lówó tí ò gajara lọ. fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ̀lọ́ àlì ní 081 43 38 0224 Yusuf 08053561131. Ramadan ọdún yìí kò ní jẹ́ àṣemọ fún wa o. Allahumma àmín.
àwọn tí tún dòde oṣù Ramadan Mariaba.
Every meal I cook must taste just right. Rich, delicious, full of love.
We hear you. Your Maggie Star in double cubes. Double the flavor, double the convenience. The same trusted taste you love. Maggie Star Double Cubes, made from fermented soya and other selected ingredients for that deep flavor and quality that only Maggie brings to your dishes.
Absolutely delicious.
Get Maggie Double Cubes today. Me and Maggie, so good together.
Feel better about your life.
32 FM, 94.9, the antidote to depression.
Welcome back. The Podium on 32 FM 94.9. If you're just joining us, our guest this morning is Dr. Wale Fashakin. He served as a personal assistant to the late Chief MKO Abiola. Is live with us on the Podium this morning. You can join the conversation by going to our Facebook page. That's 32 FM 949, and like, share, and comment on the video. So, Dr. Fashakin, Barrister asked a question earlier before the break. You want to respond to that?
Yes. Just before Mr. Fashakin responds to it,
Yes.
let me add to the question.
Right.
I want him to answer that question against the backdrop or background of this popular axiom that the worst civilian administration is better than the best military administration.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. What you said has nothing to do with either the military rule or the civilian rule. All Nigerians, like I say, most Nigerians, has to share in the blame. Even to all of us that are even here. I want to ask this question. When last did you go out to vote? Even our members that are in this platform. The problem lies that when an election is coming, we have lukewarm attitudes to the process and to the election proper. For example, in a situation where about 500 voters registered in the polling unit, and only 300 people will come out on election day to vote. Politicians are taking advantage of this by calculating the fact that out of 100, if I can buy only 60, only one vote make a winner. So they will be calculating on this, and by the time we are talking about vote buying, they will have calculated they will buy only 60 out of 100. And by their calculation and projection, you will be surprised that only 100 or 105 will come out on that vote, on that voting, on that election day. There is a Yoruba adage that says, "Tí òjòlá lọ wájú, tí àgbàrá tẹ̀lé lẹ́yìn, tí olóńgbẹrẹ tẹ̀lé." There is no hunter that can stop to waylay them. If all snakes, pythons, and other type of snakes move together in the bush, you can hardly see a hunter that will be able to waylay them. If about 400 voters came out on an election day, yes, sir.
Mr. Sorry to cut in, sir. So that you can your response can be, robust enough. Because now you have talked about vote buying. Was there vote buying during, that election of 1993? So because these are the issues I really want you to look at. Why do we have it under a civilian administration when perhaps we never had it under the military? Except you are telling us that there was also vote buying during that election of 93.
There wasn't any vote buying during the election of 1993. That's why I said Babangida has a very nice policy, but implementation and execution was and the result was the problem we are having. 1993 is quite different in what we are practicing now. I make reference to it in the first instance that you have to be known in your ward. Many politicians are nowadays, are they known in their ward? Do anybody know them from anywhere? They are money bags. And once they are desperate, after they have spent a lot of money, they are desperate to equip their money back. And that's why they are desperate to be elected. During Chief MKO Abiola's regime, we only spend money on logistics because there's no way you can rule out spending money on election, on election processes. You have to transport yourself. You have to go to places. You have to do advertisement and so on and so forth. Even in the American system, they spend money. But in Nigerian system, they spend much money to buy people, to do a lot of things. But it wasn't like that during Chief MKO Abiola's time. And that's why I'm saying, despite the fact that there is room for vote buying, if the numbers of people that comes out on election day We outnumber the numbers of people they can vote, they can buy. If they are projected of buying only 60 voters, and about 400 people comes out on election day, their plan could have been jeopardized, because the people that cannot be convinced, people that their conscience cannot be bought, are the people that have comes out, and there's no how they can buy you now. If you are in a polling unit, can anybody approach? The people are afraid to approach you, to negotiate with you for selling your vote. But many of our people are on charlatan attitude, and we are crying, and we know definitely that the decision of these people that doesn't know their right from their right from their left will be banding on all of us together, despite the fact that we are onlookers. They will rig the election, they will do this, they will do that. We kept home, we don't even go out. That is the bottom line. My appeal to all Nigerians is that everybody during an election, either you are a professor, you are a doctor, you are a lawyer, you are any, since you have gotten your voter's card, make sure you go out on election day and vote and wait for your vote to be counted. All this electronic transmission or this and that is not the issue. It's not the issue. There is the government software in computer is the easiest way to hack. American portal was hacked, and people are canvassing for electronic transmission because they want to cause confusion. Why can't they make it compulsory for any elective officers or anybody contesting to make sure they have party agents in all the polling units? You will be the vote will be counted in your presence. It will be recorded. The hard copy will be given to you. Many of these big parties, before election is being announced, they've gotten the result, because after the war, they have to a local government where they will collect all the hard copies they have with them. Then they move to the state. They will collect their own. If there is any difference between the one you have collected and the one that is reported, you have an ample chance to challenge it in court. But by the time all results, about 2-3 results is being flying into the portals of the INEC, there will be confusion. To me, I'm not party. That's my opinion. No?
Yeah.
Because it's not electronic voting. It's the said transmission of result. What result? The result that will be handed over to the party.
But Dr. Fashakin, don't you think this would boost the credibility of the process, improve trust? Because there's an issue of trust here on the part of people towards INEC. They feel like INEC is not conducting what is credible, and we've had series of disputed election over the years, even with the 2023 election as well. So maybe perhaps that's why people are saying that. Let us be seeing it in real time as things are unfolding at the polling unit. Yes, we have our party agent, but the real magic happens at the collation centers. So, but if you have already taken the picture of the form and then put it up on the INEC portal, that would be like an evidence, to counter whatever manipulation would happen at the collation center. Maybe that's why people are advocating for this. Do you see it that way?
No. I don't buy to that idea.
Yes.
The most authentic thing is the hard copy. Is the hard copy for all polling agents. You have your hard copy and you take it to your local government from all the world. The hard copy is collated, signed by the INEC, signed by every party agent. All these things will be signed and it will be collated. If there is any difference between the one you have and the one that is being reported by the collating center of INEC, then you can challenge it in court. And once this is established, the election will be reversed. The point I'm making is that what is the difference of transmitting a result that is recorded manually to INEC portal? What makes the difference from the one that is given to you as a hard copy? The problem lies that many of these parties are not ready to spend money on party agents, and that's why they are. Obi did not have party agents, and despite that, he still won in so many states. That's to tell you that we're having credible election as the system progresses. The fact remains, like I'm saying,
yes.
To me, you will say this, and it will be on record that Fashakin said this, that there will be a lot of manipulation on the portals of INEC by the time results started being transmitted to their portals. People can hack it. The most easiest way to hack is the government software in the
yeah,
computer.
Dr. Fashakin,
it will be hard.
Yeah, Dr. Fashakin, if the hard copy is the real evidence, so you shouldn't be worried about what's going to be hacked. So what is on the server will just serve as an alternative. So whatever is hacked, if the party agent has a copy of that from 𝐒𝐄, it will counter whatever has been put there. So isn't it just like a check and balance system, basically? If one is compromised, the other will serve as evidence.
But you believe that's why, as we speak,
yes,
somebody can hack your WhatsApp and will be sending messages to your friends that please send money to social person.
Yes.
Send money while you are holding your phone.
Yes.
You will be somewhere you want to transfer money to somebody. You will transfer money. You will be credited, and the money will not get to where the destination you have sent it to. Have you seen that? Why are we saying? Why are we going? Why are we projecting something we are not right to do? Nigerians, there are a lot of places in this country that the network is bad. We should not lay emphasis on transmission of results. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not good. But we should not lay emphasis on it.
Right.
Lay more emphasis on party agents, and lay emphasis on people to come out and have the result recorded by individuals. It will be announced, and the result will be pasted on the wall of where the election took place.
Right.
Why can't we lay emphasis on it? The Chief Abiola's result was not transmitted. It was counted. Everybody was there. Many people that voted during Abiola's time have not been coming out to vote again because they thought election will be rigged and the election will be rigged. Why don't you come out and exercise your legitimate right as a citizen of this country?
Yeah. Okay, so Dr. Fashakin, let's go back to Chief MK Abiola. What was it like working with him? And over the years, we've seen government of President Buhari, late President Buhari, recognized June 12 as the official Democracy Day. Do you feel like, do you think you have closure now as to what happened? And, do you feel like justice has been served, by recognizing him also as by conferring a GCON honor, the national honors conferred on by the president? Do you feel like, I think we've lost connection with Dr. Okay, Dr. Fashakin is still here. It's just barrister. So do you feel like there's closure now, looking back, that yes, satisfactorily, the government over time has dealt with this issue, from recognizing June 12 as official Democracy Day, conferring a national honor on late MK Abiola? Do you feel like justice has been done? Do you have closure now?
I want to use this medium to express my appreciation to President late Buhari for even making steps to recognize the sacrifice of Chief MK Abiola. Nobody thought of it because the belief of so many people was that Abiola was instrumental to his being topped by Babangida. But despite the notion, he still came out and saw the credibility in that election and make a way forward for Abiola to be recognized. What we need to do, it's unfortunate, Abiola is gone. Whatever recognition given to him cannot bring him back to Nigeria. And that's why I said when Babangida launched his book, I said you are apologizing to Nigeria that Abiola actually won June 12 election. This your apology, can it bring back Abiola, or can it bring back the souls of thousands of people that was killed during the struggle? And that I also went further that all the money he collected for his library should be donated to the less privileged home, because nobody will go to that library to read anything. I want President Tinubu to go further. In America, there are Martin Luther King's Day. Democracy Day, nobody will know as time goes on. Make it Chief MK Abiola's Day, not even June 12th. Chief MK Abiola's Day. That will give more credibilities and people will start asking questions. Why Chief MK Abiola's Day? If you say Democracy Day, democracy, people may not even ask questions why because they thought we are practicing democracy, and that day has been named as Democracy Day. The symbol of Democracy Day on that day is Chief MK Abiola. That Democracy Day should be changed to Chief MK Abiola's Day. You see, there is no amount of things that we could do now that could make the policy and the plan of Chief MK Abiola for Nigeria to be realized. But we believe Tinubu that was part of the process and knew everything, because Chief MK Abiola has a very big book that has a mic on what to do. And one of the regrets is that at the time he was asking for reparation, I want to make it clear to all Nigerians here that Chief MK Abiola was not ready for June 12th election. He wasn't preparing to be president of Nigeria. He wasn't preparing for it. You could recollect that when Babangida and all the primary of Yaradua and Olufalaye, he made promise that he was going to set up a transition committee that will transit from military to civilian. And that was what Chief MK Abiola was eyeing, that he should make him the chairman of that transition committee. We were in Cairo in 1992 December to lay the foundation of a school that was destroyed by earthquake. And Simbi Abiola donated a lot of money for the build of that school. But Simbi died before the building laying of the foundation. They invited Abiola and his children, Simbi's children. I was included. I was there, and some Otoba was there. Oshoba was there. I was the governor of Ogun State then, and many other governors accompanied Abiola to Cairo. That was where Babangida called Tinubu Abiola that he has changed his mind though, because if you are the chairman of Transition Council, we all be living the same day. But if you knew you can win an election, why don't you come back home and be part of this? It will be better for me to hand over to you than to make you the chairman of Transition Council. That's what brought Chief MK Abiola into it. And he said if he knew he was going to start coming back to election, he could have stopped the struggle for reparation. That's one of the problems. The whole world, the Western world knew that. And that's my opinion later. If Chief MK Abiola should be the president of Nigeria, he will be able to unite the whole Africa and ask for the right, ask for the humiliation the African people have gotten from the Western world by putting them into slavery. And that was the main reason for reparation. So to me, it was one of the reasons why the Western world abandoned him. Because they weren't looking for any way to look for somebody that can actually unite Africa and make them fight for their right. So you understand?
Yes.
So the fact remains that Chief Abiola has laid down his life for Nigerians, for democracy. And it's our prayer that the blood of Chief Abiola should not go in vain. And secondly, Chief Abiola should be accorded all the right of president. His photograph should be in all prospective. It could be given a president. It could be not everybody knows the result. Babangida has come out to say that Abiola won the election. So what else do we need than to accord him the status of a president that was not allowed to rule?
Right. You can be a part of the conversation again. Facebook 32FM 949 Fenye. You can also call 0906 2000 949, 0906 2000 949, 0809 7000 949. That's 0809 7000 949, 0705 5000 949, 0705 5000 949. Those are the numbers to call to be a part of the conversation. Let's go back to Prof now. Prof? Hello, Prof? Hello, Prof, you have the floor. It appears your device is muted, Prof. Okay, I don't think Prof can hear me. Barrister is also off the call. Let me come back to you, Dr. Fashakin. So, what was it like working with him? And that's the late MK Abiola. Okay, Prof, are you back now?
Yes,
hello, Prof. Yes, you have the floor now. All right, go ahead, Prof.
Well, he made reference to three critical things that he said is wrong with Nigerian politics. He mentioned tribalism, he mentioned religion, and then he also mentioned, I think one other important is
money,
sectarian money.
Yes.
Now, I want him to share from his experience solutions that are likely to be effective in the context of Nigerian politics, because I think that it's actually politicians that play on these elements because they think that it will bring them votes. How can we turn politicians into those who will now try to resolve those problems? Or what can we do to prevent politicians? Because certain measures have already been taken constitutionally. For instance, it is now required that for you to win a presidential election, you must have at least 25% votes in all states and 2/3 of the states of the federation. And this is also part of the effort to reduce ethnicity, because previously people will not go outside their comfort zone to go and campaign. But that formula seems to try to address that. But it's not good enough. It doesn't go far enough. Does it, from experience, from his interaction, even with MKO? Because one of the very outstanding things about MKO is his wit. I mean, if you listen to MKO's talk for 5 minutes, you will know this man is loaded with wisdom and he's a very fast thinker. And that's why no politician has ever engaged the public the way MKO did. It is from MKO we knew that you cannot barb somebody's head in his absence. So many proverbs like that gives the impression or the kind of brain that MKO had. I mean, he has shared from his experience, and MKO has proposed so many things. What answers can he suggest to address these three things: money, religion, ethnicity?
Thank you very much. Like you have rightly said, Q Abiola was full of wisdom. And there is no way you can be with him for 5 minutes that you don't know that this man is brain. Abiola, we hold his phone, then cellular. We called more than 15 lines without looking at any directive. He will just be pressing, and it will be direct to whoever he wants to call. Even the day we went for Tova Abiola interview at NTA, that was the last day we had we had a campaign in Abuja, and we returned straight, and we went straight to the studio, and you could see how he flooded Tofa on that interview. Straight to your question, sir. The government knows what to do by amending the Electoral Act and make it impossible for anybody coming into elective position to earn more than so amount of money. The money these people are getting make it more problematic to be able to checkmate the process of election in Nigeria. There is too much money in the in elective position. Why can't we make, for example, the Senate, the House of Rep, why duplicating them in the first instance? And why can't we make it a part-time kind of program? When you have time to sit, you go there, you will be paid allowance. In America, I witnessed it in Washington, D.C., where 2 senators are staying in 2-bedroom apartment. And when they are going to their state, they go by public train. But in Nigeria, once you become a councillor, you are a warlord. Once you become a governor, once you become a House of Rep, you will be looking for a police escort. What kind of life is that? So the kind of life our politicians are living made it very, very difficult for people that are very desperate to come to power, to look for every means to make sure they acquire power. If the government can do that, make sure there is no much money to involve in the payment of all these politicians. They give them clinical allowance, this one allowance. At the end of the day, you can see a senator say they are coming home. They take home is about 30-something million every month. Everybody is looking. It's not the interest of Nigeria.
Please hold that thought, sir. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Thomas.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Jide. I'm calling from Mokola. Now,
Welcome.
I want to ask Baba Fashakin one question.
Right.
In 1993, during the June 12th election, the election was adjudged to be the freest and fairest, and the government used the INEC then, NEC, they called it, option A4.
Yes.
Is option A4 outdated? And can't we use it now?
Okay. Thank you. All right, Dr. Fashakin, the
call should be our focus.
Yes.
We could remember.
A call came in now. Sorry to come in here quickly. The caller was asking if we can revert to option A4. Maybe we've outgrown it. Is it outdated? Because it was something that was used at the time to produce this widely acclaimed free and fair elections in 1993. Can we go back to option A4 in 2027?
We have overgrown that. A Nigerian election can never entertain that. because we are used to all this money things. How can you take money from me and you take money from candidate B, candidate? How on that will you go and stand behind the candidate, another candidate, when I knew very well that you have taken money from me? You will see cutlasses flying on election days. We cannot go back to that, but we can modify it. The way we can modify it is that our election process will make it possible for us to let any person that wants to become a governor to start from his ward. Let's go back to that option. Go and do election in your ward. If about 5 or 6 people may be interested in becoming a governor in the ward will vote for him and they will pick one. Then he will move to the local government. Maybe about 4-10 people interested in becoming a governor in his local government. They will pick one. That was why they won't stop contesting, because he lost in his local government because of option A4. So by the time you think you have money and you are not popular, despite the fact that you have money, you may not be voted for in your ward because you have not, with your money, nobody have benefited from what you have. So they will be very sure that this person doesn't have the progress or the welfare of the masses at heart. So if you can go to that will modify the kind of people we have at the end of our affairs. I strongly believe in that. You cannot you want to become a councillor, we don't know you. You want to become a governor, you are and all this godfatherism will have been erased. Because once you have a godfather, I can go to Abuja, they will just know you are anointed candidate that is not even known in his ward, that not even known his family. Because he's anointed candidate from the top, it will become the party bearer. That's one of the problems. And second, like the ultimate goal is to go back to parliamentary system of government. You could remember during Awolowo as the prime minister of a Western state. The Western state was paying more than the federal government. They were paying our workers far more than the federal government workers. You work at your pace. You know how to generate revenue at your pace. You know how to spend your money at your pace. In America, the same thing happens. It could be United States of Nigeria. There's nothing wrong. Why are we coming together? Why must we be together? We can be together as a United States of Nigeria, but let everybody work at his own pace. That's how it should be.
Right.
So this idea of religion, this idea of money in politics, this idea of being somehow will be reduced. Some people are self-centered. We knew ourselves. We remember during the time of wet year. If you are not good, and we knew you are not good, we know a way of dealing with ourselves in our own region. But in Nigeria now, if you are a president of Nigeria and you happen to come from the West, whatever you are doing, the Western state will support you. Is Omawani, it's our own turn. If the Northerners come to be the end of our affair, they will say, there is nothing we can do. They will be against us. If you are trying to against them, they will say, no, don't antagonize him. You have done your own. Wait for your turn. But if it is the fact that we have a federal government and everybody is contributing, is working at his own pace and contributed to the federal government for little things that the federal government will do, how can the federal government be maintaining federal roads when it is the state and the people in the state are running it? You abandon state road that run through the state because it's a federal government road. Is that how it should be?
Right.
Let the government maintain their roads.
Right.
Because of the resources they make.
Right. Thank you so much.
I'm quite sure if it's like that, Ibadan, if the road could have been repaired.
Right.
Ibadan, Benin road could have been repaired to their border, and the other state will take it up from there to their own end.
Right.
But because the federal government, even within the street, within the town, they will abandon it.
Let's take some comments on Facebook. This comment, Pope Chiweke says, no matter how the coloration is painted for me and numerous positive thinking Nigerians, Professor Humphrey Nwosu's led Electoral Commission stands to be the most perfect, credible, fair, and freest conducted election for now. It was tagged up 24. It has been the most free election in the history of Nigeria. In fact, to say the fact, if not chanting for deceptive rhetoric, this system would have been long adopted where senators claimed network issues are prone. Thank you very much. The other comment is from the first segment. This is coming from Adediran Abdul Ghaffar. Says perception of differentiating workers caused more harm than good. The first point of contact in the hospital are the health workers before the doctors. Example, health workers are the most affected during COVID-19 than the doctors. Also, the administrative department of the health sector work under unconducive environment to bring results and without additional allowance in which doctors can never do. Therefore, health workers are not clamoring for equal remuneration but reasonable take home. Thank you very much for being a part of the podium. Thank you, Dr. Wale Fachaki, for joining us. Thank you, Prof, as well, for being a part of the show. Thank you to my producer, Agbolabo Famous Cole. My name is OLORUNTOBA YUSUF. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday morning. Bye for now.